I have this tendency to talk, to give like a speech or something, and then like say something and then like not end it. And in the VR 180, I mentioned Lady Sovereign. You know that she had that song, and um, if you like me, then fuck you. If you hate me, then fuck you. And sorry about that bit. Christians don't usually cuss like that, but I mean, I've said that the cussing, the you know, I've used a lot of cussing, and a lot of other people have used cussing, and I probably shouldn't use it, but I mean, it's you could take it to an extreme, and you probably wouldn't be human anymore, you know. And so I think the thing is to try to the effort is the emphasis is on trying to make it so that a lot of people can so that it'll be acceptable to a lot of people, but I don't think people would be. I think that if I was like, trying to like make it completely water it down and stuff, then people would. I mean, there would be somebody out there that couldn't handle it because it wouldn't feel right for them. So I think the thing is that I'm just being me, and I'm not doing it to. You're not ever going to be sin free. You're just going to try your best to present, you know, the best you can. There's a difference between going out there and trying to trying to be obscure. And I mean, there are people that are intent on just like pretty much not caring about anybody else and just exploiting, how they have the right to like get upset at people, and that they're going to do something awkward to some girl and then expect to get, the comedians that want to get laughs, and then getting laughs they'll destroy somebody in order to do it. I think that's the main thing, is not to to try to be a bit fair. But it somebody said, Jesus, the apostles or whatever said, so said what's in is it what goes into the mouth, and he says it's what comes out of the mouth is that makes you impure, not what goes into your mouth. And so eating food, eating pigs and stuff like that, uh, and in the Christian, because Jesus laid that out, he just said that is not a big deal. The major deal is what you say, probably not cuss words, but just what you say. If you tell lies, you know, that can make you impure, that can. And so, but there are things in the Bible that say, if you get it wrong, then you be cursed. I mean, at worst, God lets Satan kind of deal with you and slap you around, but, good cop, bad cop type thing. And, because God's not going to deal with whenever you're on your bad side. God's not going to deal with the bad part. He's just going to let Satan have his way with you, and then you kind of learn from that. I think God could put up with it. He just doesn't want to. It's kind of like delegating responsibility. It's like, why mess with that? I mean, why get involved in like setting you straight? Why not because he gives you free will. Um, God's not going to come in and deal with that. God's going to delegate the responsibility to Satan. Satan's going to deal with you. Okay. And so that's actually the person or the metaphysical being that messes with me the most is Satan. And if you look at when Jesus was doing his mission, who was messing with him the most? It was Satan. It's like Satan coming in from one place or another, and he's trying to give some instruction, and he's just And it's usually whenever somebody thinks that they're capable of something that they're not capable of, Satan will channel right through them and try to get through to other people that way. And you can't be weak like that. I mean, but that's how it happens. Is that when you fall weak, Satan comes in and channels through you. I've I've had good people talk to me, and I mean, I've had people I knew were good people, but I've noticed that they will talk to me, and they'll say things that are really cutting, but they're not. It's kind of like they're saying something, but they don't know how it's going to get interpreted, and in it, I find the kind of things that Satan will address me with, and I'll go. I'll kind of get really distracted, and then I'll go, oh yeah, that was Satan. That was Satan messing with me. Um, some people say, don't believe that stuff and all that stuff. Is the thing is with that is that you're not. Satan doesn't have a problem with you because you're already deciding that there is no Satan. There's nothing that Satan needs to do there. It's on where Satan really attacks you is when you're bent on believing in God. All your friends, if you're bent on believing in God, or you know that God exists or something like that, all your friends are going to dispute it. And the reason why they're disputing it is not necessarily that they are trying to destroy you. They're disputing it either because they're confused or Satan's working through them. Or Satan's working through people that they've talked to that's already. And so the effort is to try to keep you from ever thinking what you would naturally, what you believe. They want everybody to believe what they believe, and they're pushing that because they're afraid of something. They're afraid that they think somehow that to believe that is going to make you sound crazy, because of their assumptions about things. They're trying to get everybody on the same page because they think that somehow it's going to get in the way of real valuable stuff getting done. And the thing they don't realize is that people have worldviews out there in different perspectives, and you can't enforce your opinion on them by saying, "Oh, I don't believe in that," and you shouldn't either. Saying I don't believe in that, I said, "Well, that's your opinion," is the response. And then if you just get really toxic, then you say, "Well, you know what? I won't believe in anything that you'll believe in, and no matter what." And it's kind of like you've lost your last gambling chip. You've lost that they have zero incentive now to trust you for anything. That is the way you deal with people that are like that. That have an incentive to disprove whatever it is, disprove your belief, because that is where you draw your power. If they are bent on disproving you, or and I guess I kind of break that rule myself because I would go and pursue somebody who's an evolutionist. But the reason why I'm pursuing them is because they're pursuing me. That a number of evolutionists are pursuing Christians. They can go off and believe what they want to believe. The thing is that some of their beliefs contradict my beliefs, and I'll just say that this is what I believe, and you can take it or leave it. And so, if we go back to Lady Sovereign, it's kind of the same argument. What she's saying in that, and it sounds like she's answering the question the same way. The word "fuck you" takes, or that word combination takes on two different interpretations, and one is well, great. And the other is, well, screw you. Don't. I really just do not agree with you, and it's putting emphasis on top of that. The other one is that is putting emphasis the other way. Is well, good, and it's kind of like, but what she's really saying through the song is she's saying that she doesn't take herself seriously. She doesn't real when you give her that um, comment, that you love her and all that stuff. It's kind of like she could take it or leave it. But it's what she's, it's a thumbs up if you like her, and it's a thumbs down if you don't like her. But either way, if you even didn't even give her the time of day, she wouldn't even care anyhow, because her strength comes from within herself, and that is what drives her forward, is not what other people say. And so basically through the whole song, she's just pointing out that she's not like anybody else. She's her own person, and she deals with things um, the way she is. She's not going to try to be like other people, and she doesn't want you to be like her, because you be like you. She's trying to give everybody the respect of being able to be themselves, and that's essentially what God's trying to do with everybody, is that give everybody the capacity to be themselves. But if you want to know how God would do it, God will lay it down and say, well, this is the way you satisfy me, and to pursue me and follow me is you're going to want to try to follow all these things, or at least know that this is what I like. And and Jesus said to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. In love, there doesn't mean an emotion. It means to try to pursue the things that God pursues, because that'll love Him, and it'll be loving you as well. Is that pursuing loving others is going to be in an indirect way loving you as well. Now, you're probably wondering how I came up with all this stuff. I had no idea. I'm actually there's a saying somewhere, and I thought it was in the Bible, and I don't know where it is, and it's that the teacher also learns. That when you teach, you're practically learning at the same time. And so I think I don't want to say that I'm a natural evangelist, but I kind of am. And when I mean evangelist, I don't really mean, what I mean is somebody who can talk about religion. I mean, about Christian religion, and pass it on to other people. But I don't prepare sermons. I don't go and read up what are good sermons. I'm not super careful about the words I use. I open up the door to being cursed, and uh, that it's really kind of a I would say it's kind of a punk method of punk, being you get up and you do it. You just don't, you just do it. You don't like mess around with the concern. You let any kind of misinterpretation be dealt with by God. You know, God's going to go in there and try to kind of finagle with the person to get them into the understanding of what you said, even if you said it incorrectly, because what you were trying to do was you were trying to inspire them and bring them in. And so, to some degree, it is me. To other degrees, it's like I can't know where I begin and God ends, or where God begins and where I end. I can't tell how far into that it is. And I also can't tell how much of it that I might be saying is Satan channeling me, saying it through me and saying it wrong, you see. So that would also be a reason why I would be cursed, is because Satan was channeling me and making me say something that was incorrect, you know. Or I wouldn't say making me say something that's incorrect, but possibly pushing me in that direction or doing something to kind of finagle me into quipping up and something that's laughable and will end up with a lot of I want to say ridicule, but it's kind of like hecklers, you know, something they could heckle you with. But I just wanted to point out the Lady Sovereign reference mainly, and I went back and looked at pictures of her, and I was kind of like, you know, I could love her, but she is so young and so different and so out there, and she makes these really ugly faces, and I'm just like, if you just didn't make the ugly faces and you didn't do this, and that would be really difficult. I could tell right away that she would throw a finger in my face, and I would actually be turned on that because for one thing, I really like British accents. I like even the stuff that's really not spot on. And if you're Lady Sovereign, look up if you she probably will hit this as well. There's this kind of she's not a porn star because she doesn't get naked, but she's this really abusive master type. Um, I don't know how in the world she got into doing this sort of thing. Her name is Princess Sarah with Sera, and she kind of gives abuse. She gives, she gives, and I don't want to tell you what kind, but it's kind of like when somebody like not verbally abuses, but abuses you in the sense of trying to make you trying to say how unworthy you are, you know, to deal with me. You just don't know what you're dealing with here, type thing. That actually turns me on. I like aggression. I like when a woman shows aggression. There's some people that can't deal with that, but for me, it's kind of a turn on. Um, so I could see myself if it were ever the case that me and Lady Sovereign got married. I could see myself uh, having her kind of give me the time of day, you know, give me kicking my ass and stuff, and me going, you know, kind of laughing it off, you know, and I'm sure that the thing is that love is not an emotion. It is mainly what it is a choice, and so it's a choice that I could live with a person like this, and I'm gonna make the choice of sticking to it. Okay, that's love, and it's an unconditional love. It's like no matter what you do to me, always going to be here. You know, and I'm gonna figure out how to get you to like me. That's love.